Alright, we have a no cooling call in a neighborhood we have worked in quite a bit, but we have not been to this particular house as of yet. So we're going to pull up here and see what we can do to get the people some air.
What not to do?
Okay, they have a Comfortmaker, 1 unit, feeding a 2-story house. As you can see, someone used a cleaner that's too strong and pulls the black paint loose, and in my opinion clogs up about as much as it clears. Here's the pressures. Almost no subcooling, a little bit high on the superheat. So let's see if we can clean this thing out and get it charged and back stable for them. Okay, I'm not going to use the Never Pump sprayer on this because I'm going to try this R410a orange cleaner that a couple of guys recommended for the ICP units because it supposedly will not break the finish off. And I'm going to see if I can flush out all of the broken finish already. There's probably clogged up in it. If we're unsuccessful at getting it clear this way, I will take the strong New Bright and the blue foaming cleaner and we'll get to it that way if we have to, but it's a lot more work. You got to get all of the black off of it then. So we'll see what we can do. All right. So it still does look like it reacts a little bit in some places. Over here is where it's really bad. It's just jerked the black paint loose. So I think we're gonna add cleaner to both sides of this one and see what we can do. And much as I hate to do it, we are probably going to have to get the foam bright out, or the New Bright, and get vigorous with this in order to clean up the mess that got made. But let's see what we can do. So you can see what happens. There's all the little black, I call them woolly boogers, all the little hairs from the paint just comes off and just causes a worse mess. All right, so we're not getting anywhere. You can see all the woolly boogers just coming loose and sticking and hanging. So at this point we're committed. So we're going to bust out the Yellow Death Foam Bright, world's strongest coil cleaner and the best engine degreaser you'll ever see. I don't use it very often, but we're going to see if we can get it to make this black stuff let go. I think that R410a would work fine if the finish were intact, but once it's broken loose like this, like I say, we're committed. So let's see where we can get with this. All right, another thing, we're going to mix it incredibly strong. So probably 60-40. Don't try this at home, boys and girls, and definitely wear these when you handle this, whatever you do. That's probably close to 50-50. And like I say, this is nothing near normal procedure for trying to clean an ICP coil. This is actually trying to straighten out the mess that got started. You can see all that loose black there. And this stuff is really strong. So let's see how it acts. I've gotten spoiled by my Hudson Never Pump rechargeable sprayer. Now you've all seen that and heard me raving about it. And you'll see this reacting quickly. So hopefully this can just bust loose the rest of what's not busted loose, and we can actually get it out of there. I think the paint is clogging the coil worse than the original dirt. You see it foaming it out? Looks like pepper on top of it. And like I say, this is absolutely not normal procedure, and we would definitely have to rinse this forever. Look at it foaming inside. And tell you, I've never found a more powerful coil cleaner than this. Like I say, it works great for engine degreaser in the automotive world. So we'll see the finish just start going away here. As you can see it. Just taking it right off. So hopefully we can do this a couple of times and be able to actually clear the airflow of the coil, which, like I say, is now hindered more by the loose black finish than the original dirt that whoever was trying to clean it with in the first place and made this mess. I'm going to say we're going to have to do this 2 or 3 times. You see it smoking, and when you're breathing that, you're actually breathing burning aluminum. So you don't want to let it sit here too long. Let's get it going. It is strong, I'll tell you what. You can see round 1 took most of the black finish off of the coil itself, and now we're hung with it all over the cage. So you can see what a mess this makes. Now we have to just do this over and over. May end up having to just take that cage off, but to rinse it out. But we're going to get this clear and get it flowing air. Get these people some AC. All right, here we go with round 2. Not near as much pepper on it. Still got some, but not near as much. I'm not sure how many times. There's a good bit right there. Not sure how many times we're going to have to do this, but we got to get the majority of that black paint out of here. Once it comes loose, it's got to go. So let's keep going before it eats this aluminum till it's gone. All right, that's round 3. It almost looks like a regular silver coil without the black finish now. It is at least going to flow air. And the homeowner nor I, neither one, can afford to sit here and nitpick every little speck off. But this should be quite a difference. And I'm going to fire it up and soak it down again from the outside while it's running. And just make sure that this water kills all this alkali or all this acid or whatever's in this yellow death. And hopefully we can get this thing back to performing. But we're still a little bit discolored. Tried to get it rinsed off best I could. I believe I need some neutralizer or something, but regardless, as you can see, pretty close to where we were. I'm gonna let the head pressure dry it out about another 10 minutes. I'm gonna set these pressures and see if we can get these people some AC going. Alright, it's been running a good 20 minutes. We've got it charged. Pretty well, I'd say. I think it's calling for 12 here. So, say we're gonna see what she'll do now, because that's all we're gonna get out of it. She did get the coil clear enough to where it can flow air now. Good volume there. It's going straight up now, instead of getting fault with and slung sideways out the blade. It's doing very well. So let's pack up and hit the next one. Okay, so a little more about that comes out as we go along. The guy was, these houses are only 4 years old. Compressor went bad in that unit, and the guy was up at Baker's in the supply house asking who he could get to fix it, because the builder would not give him, now according to what he says, would not give him the name and contact information for the original installer, and said that they don't do service or warranty work, they just install. So I gotta tell you, that's a new one on me. If you want to erode a brand name, that's a good way to do it. So there was a couple people standing there, and he, you know, he got a couple cards while he's in there, and he had some guy and his brother come out and change the compressor. $600 labor plus refrigerant, and they got the compressor warranted. Doesn't sound too outrageous. However, that was all they would do, and told him to clean the coil himself. Well, guess who sold him the Yellow Death Foam Bright? That was Baker. Told him it was the least harmful and non-acidic, and to buy the Foam Bright. So the homeowner did that himself, and then all this comes out when I'm finished. But anyway, so nonetheless, he gave us the remainder of the gallon he had of the Foam Bright, and a couple other little things he bought while he was in there. Said he was finished with his do-it-yourself AC, and that I would be his man from now on. So hopefully he sticks with that. But nonetheless, you saw how bad it was, what the result of improper application of the wrong product on the wrong unit can do. And that's why I'm so careful when I clean an ICP coil. I tell you, we had to just get really aggressive to get that one to where it would work. But we did leave it working well. It was quite chaotic in the house with the kids and dogs and wife and whatnot, so I did not get any footage, but we were getting 21 degrees of delta, so I was pretty happy with that. It was 77 in the house, and it was putting out 56 point odd, some odd, so pretty close to 21 degrees, over 20 anyway. So I just thought I'd tell you that's a little more of what happened and how that got that way. I thought it was just a crappy contractor that came over and screwed his unit up like that, but it comes out that Baker told him to do it and he did it. Or at least that's his story. Now I gotta imagine there'd be an entirely different story from the counter people at Baker that said, you know, probably told him, well, you shouldn't do this, but here's what you can buy. You know, I guess, I don't know. Maybe he just read the can and the jug and bought it himself. But nonetheless, hence the name of the channel, Anti-DIY HVAC. And that's why I've always said, don't try this at home. for watching.